Russian officials say 7 people have been killed and 50 others injured in Ukrainian drone attacks overnight that set an oil depot and 2 warehouses belonging to Russia's biggest online retailers on fire. This is the moment the warehouse collapsed in flames. Huge clouds of smoke could be seen then in the skies. The mayor of Moscow said more than 370 drones were sent towards the capital region overnight. Ukraine hasn't commented. Let's talk to our correspondent Paul Adams, who's in Kyiv. Paul, extraordinarily dramatic pictures. Tell us the extent of these Ukrainian drone attacks.
Well, look, I think it's worth pointing out that both Russia and Ukraine have been hitting each other's economic infrastructure, and particularly energy infrastructure, for a long time. And some of those attacks are deep inside Russia. I think what is different about this is that I think this is the first time that the Ukrainians have hit this Wildberries online retailer, where these warehouses. This is an unusual development. It mirrors something that the Russians have been doing in Ukraine for quite a long time. But what President Zelensky has said is that these depots are used to store and transport key components that go into the Russian drones that are used to target Ukrainian cities. Some defense experts I've been talking to really confirm that. They say that Wildberries is a place that a lot of Russian military go to for their supplies, and that it is effectively part of the logistics network used by the Russian military. I dare say the Kremlin would take a different view of that. Certainly from the scenes that we have seen, this caused absolute havoc and panic among the civilian staff manning the warehouse. The attack started at night. We've seen scenes of people injured and panic-stricken inside the warehouse, and then those attacks continued into the daytime, and we've seen video of drones hitting and members of staff fleeing again in panic. So this was a pretty bold attack and a new development in terms of the sorts of targets that Ukraine now feels that it is entitled to go after.
Well, what effect are these continuing drone strikes having more widely on Russia? We've been hearing about fuel shortages for some time now.
Yeah, and I think that remains one of the key features of Ukraine's long-range strikes. And in fact, there was another oil depot hit in last night's attacks, and the cloud of smoke hanging over that depot is pretty thick. The effect has been to deny parts of the Russian military the vital supplies that they need in terms of fuel and other petroleum supplies. And in fact, to make life difficult for the Russian civilians altogether. In Crimea, we've already had reports of rationing and people being told to conserve energy, that petrol is in very, very short supply. This is a very concerted effort by Ukraine to do to Russia what Russia has been doing to Ukraine for some time, which is to starve the country of as much energy as it possibly can.
Paul, thank you very much. Paul Adams in Kyiv.